right towards Pool Lane, then turn left onto Pool Lane. Head east, then turn right.
Hey up. So today I found myself in Chasewater Country Park, which I guess is by Cannock Chase. Basically I just kind of drove. I do this a lot. I kind of like go through Sutton Coldfield, I either go towards Lichfield or Tamworth, and then just keep going in roads that I think I haven't been on before. Turns out I have been on before, and then yeah, just keep making turns until you see something new. But that's the problem with driving, really. You really you take out all your options pretty quick, especially over like the last 10 years anyway. So I used to do this on the motorbikes back in the day. I just ride, and find myself basically at Bassett's Pole every time. But today I am at, Chasewater Country Park. Chasewater, big old bit of water. I do not know the history of the place or why it's here, but it looks like it's very much for sporting. I think they do the Ironman run here. There's a play area, there's some kind of community stuff going on. They do charge for parking, but it was cash only, and my card isn't working on my phone today, and I had $3.50 on me, but one of the pounds was getting kind of just rejected all the time, so I've put 2 hours parking on, but it doesn't look like there's any fines or any trouble you can get in if you don't pay, to be honest. It just says the profits go towards the park. So they've got my £1.20, and I hope that helps. But generally I don't think I'm going to get in trouble for that one. The gates close at 8 PM, and that's generally all the news so far. I have got a plan. It shouldn't take long. I think it only takes like half an hour to whip around this entire pool, which is pretty bloody big, to be honest. So we're going to do that, walk around, and over that side somewhere towards Brownhills, there's a pub called the Uxbridge Tavern, and there's also a pub called the Miner's Rest, which is a Jules pub, and I rate Jules beers. Check out the Boldmere tap in Boldmere. Brilliant beers, gotta say. So that's the plan today. Maybe get a cob, who knows. But in the meantime, let's have a look around here and have a look at the lovely smells and sights of Chasewater Country Park. Well, I've already cocked up and put my foot right in there, which was deeper than it looked, and now this shoe, again, the brand new ones from the other day, is soaked, and it's not waterproof, I can confirm. But here you go, some rules and regulations. No fun, guys, no fun. And just to add to that, no bloody barbecues either, you tyrants. It must be said they're weirdly hot on asking the question, have you paid and displayed? There's signs bloody everywhere for this, and now we're already, I don't know, maybe 2/10, a fifth of a mile on our way down the walk, and they're still asking if you've paid, even though there doesn't appear to be any drawbacks for not paying, because there's no terms and conditions on how much they're going to fine you, if they're going to clamp you, which I believe is illegal now anyway. So it's all a bit weird. But again, I'm sure it'll be fine, because really, can anyone afford the staff anymore to even police this bullshit? I don't think so. But we got here some old rail sleepers. Well, yeah, concrete rail sleeper, isn't it? Oh, we got 1948. June 1948, is that how they used to do things? LMS, not sure what that means. TSB. There you go, cool, isn't it? Some old rail stuff here. Look at that. Cool. So it looks like a really slim gauge, that, so I'm not sure if that was a pleasure train at the time or just for local goods. It looks like the track still exists and just ducks around the side there. So no idea what this is. But isn't there one a bit like this in Severn Stourbridge? Do they have this, I think? It's cool though. Look at that for some tiny track. Oh right, so this is a whole thing. We're going to find out what this thing is. But look at these. We're going to start our train spotting journey with pool number 9124. We saw it here first. Or do you take that number up? I don't know. Cool though, isn't they? Air piped, whatever that means. We're going to find out. Return to Bescott. That's Walsall football ground, isn't it? And down there we've got Darlington 1958. History, eh? What's this? A Morris. Looks like that does run, or is that like a little heated room for people, or is that the engine room itself? Doesn't look like it's going to pull much. but I know absolutely bugger all about rail. Nice though. I wonder if this was the local stop at the time. So they call it the Chasewater Railway. And that building there. Ooh, getting more for my money here. Got a bit of camping going on. Well, caravan park. Don't know if it's a holiday thing or if it's people just moved on and they shouldn't be here, you know what I mean? Who knows? But lovely, lovely. Oh, right. Brown Hills West Station, heritage steam and diesel train rides. Oof. Not going to do it today because the weather is bloody rubbish, to be honest. But that's a pretty building. Do you have to pay to go in, or can you just walk around? I don't know. Well, we're going to have a nose around because it looks like there's no chance to walk in, so that's that, isn't it? Wow. So we've got an old pulley system grabby thing. Bloody hell. And this is how everything was done back in the day. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if contraptions like this were involved in the making of the rails themselves, and also possibly the canal systems. But again, I know absolutely nothing. I'm actually going to do a video on the disappearing telephone boxes of my local area, because I've just noticed that one's just disappeared overnight, which is a shame, but also no one's bloody using them, are they? So you can't be surprised with our mobile phones. All books buy one get one free in the very cool little old trainee shed, probably ticket office, isn't it? Who knows? Complete speculation from me all day, so ignore everything I'm saying if you want. Oops. Emporium ladies. Oh right, so this is all their shops and bits and bobs. I guess it opens up a bit more in the summer, which we're getting to. Oh, look at that tattery wagon. Well, I believe this is probably the first class end, isn't it? With the drop down armrests. Are you mad? Lovely. Not sure what this room's for, but it's got a wheel. I don't know if that's yeah, I ain't got a clue, because this isn't, I don't know what the official name is for the train that actually pulls the locomotive. Maybe it is, I don't know. No idea what I'm looking at. Ooh, pleasant little. Be gentle. No, I don't believe Littleton was that far from Walsall. These were the Littleton Arms behind the police station by the new college building, I believe it was. It used to be a little rock and roll bar back in the day. It was really cool. But that got took out for a new big junction of roads, and I could never find a photo of that pub, unfortunately. But you get Littleton Colliery, which I imagine would have been round there. So not too far from here. We're not too far from Walsall. I don't know, 5 miles? I don't know. All that then. Helen. And all these old tings as well. Oh, we can see in this one. Brilliant. Let's have a gander. Wait. So, I take it this isn't a furnace job? Is this fuel powered? Like diesel maybe? Because you can't see the whole furnace and it's not like a steam engine, is it? But I don't know. Once again, I don't know what I'm looking at, but guessing by the fact it says Shell on it, I reckon it runs on Fuelion. Gosh. Imagine the hours put in by some poor old blokes back in the day. Pretty much lived in there. Awesome. Establishing shot of that bad boy, just in case you were wondering what we were looking at. But back to the countryside-y bit now. That's enough railways for one day. It just shows you like all this the effort that has been put in by various local authorities to keep it interesting in various areas. That's a good effort, I'd say. We'll pop back with the missus, we'll have a day of that because there was a tea room, and hopefully we'll actually jump on a train because I like trains. So the history of why this is here for you. So this pool or reservoir, pool, was formed in 1797, and yes, it was to feed the canal systems, the Essington and Wyerley canals, I believe. And yeah, this was the joining basically of two streams and the damming of it just to create all of this water to feed the canals. And I believe oh bloody hell, what was it? The Crane, the stream called the Crane, which flowed into the Tame River, and then also another stream that flowed into the Penk. And this is all that water dammed off, ready to send to the canals and keep those levels up. Because as you know, all of the canals are not natural. They were dug out by bloody humans all the way back then, more than 200 years ago. Absolutely crazy. And things like this are what make those dreams come true. And the same goes for, Edgbaston Reservoir, essentially. If you go back in the channel, you'll see I had a day out on there in the inflatable kayak. And that was all very much the same. I'm not sure who put this one together. We can only assume the same old faces like, oh God, who did that one? Bolton? Telford? Those kind of guys. But yeah, the brains of the Industrial Revolution, weren't they? And now, it's still going to be used to top up the canals, of course. Bloody bugs. But yeah, all these kind of spaces have just turned into pleasure grounds ever since, haven't they? Which is nice. Gives the robot people something to do when their emails are quiet. And it would be rude not to confirm the fact that this is called Norton Pool. Afraid I don't know who Norton is right now, and I'm not going to Google it because battery isn't doing well. So the legends are true. There's deer in the park, which I was expecting because I had a little read up before I came. But usually you're going to have to head out towards Worcester and Hereford and all those kind of slightly south places to see deer, and there's a lot of them. Bloody hell. But I hope they're all friendly. Deer are alright, aren't they? Wow. Wow. So, yeah, this is all part of the Cannock Chase thing, isn't it? The chase is, back in the day, mainly been for royal use and all your aristocracy and people like that. Oh, they're shitting themselves. You all right, guys? So yeah, they chase them and they keep all this land clear and ready to play in, essentially. It was a big playground for the poshies, and they'd bring their horses out, their greyhounds, they go hunting, shooting a bit later on in life. But really, Cannock Chase used to be connected all the way to Sutton Park. That was part of the chase. Hortop Car Park, I think that's where the split starts, and obviously Sutton Coldfield's right in the middle. But there you go. Very pretty. Bloody pylons. So, just getting, a quarter around now, and you can see the split or the pit. Just a ford, isn't it? Which is splitting these waters and those waters in aid of the railway. So, taking a lot of weight on this. I don't know if this all counts as Norton's Pool. I haven't done my research. But it's a lovely build. Haven't seen any fishing going on. I don't know if it's a no fishing zone. But great. All we are really seeing around here are joggers and dog walkers, which is a shame, really. I would bring Pippin out on this one, but his little greyhound feet really don't do well on this kind of hardcorey, horrible, stony floor. So something worth noting, if you haven't been before, much like myself, as you get round the first major bend of the water, there's a big gate which goes down a concrete path that way. I chose to come this way, which for a bit it's been muddy, it's been okay, it's been fine. But the minute I got into this area, it's completely bogged out and feels a little bit sinky, and I don't want to get involved with that nonsense. So turning back to the main drag, which does add quite a distance onto the walk by the looks of the map anyway, but I don't know the official figures. But absolutely not worth going this way. Doesn't matter how new your shoes are, you'll probably sink and die. So don't say I didn't tell you. So we're back on the main road. It looks like you basically want to be following the blue arrows. It's almost like they mean something. But I lied about the concrete anyway, it's just more hardcore and sand and stuff. But absolutely much easier underfoot than that mess. And like generally, if you can see this reedy madness, which I learned from Sutton Park, it's just not worth it. You'll spend more time and effort jumping little tufts of grass, or you'll think is grass, then your foot will go in something horrible. So avoid, hit the path. Views are really opening up from this direction, which is nice. Still staying dry now on these paths, which is good because look how bloody wet it is down there. That's the way I was gonna go. No, don't do that. But yeah, cool little observation. I guess there's a local school around here, as far as a secondary school, or maybe a college, I don't know, but they're all in blazers, these kids. But what a cool walk at a pheasant. Ooh, confirming the fact that this place is a chase. I was watching something the other day about how farmers back in the Victorian times weren't allowed to do anything about the pheasant problem when they started pecking away at their crops, because they were protected by the government, which, you know, is only going to be an offshoot of royal protection, because they want to shoot these and bring their mates around to do it, and they don't want you, and they'll term it poaching if you did kill them yourselves or get someone in to do it for you. You'd get fined or thrown in jail for a little bit, which is crazy. But I think pheasants cool. They're a lot less dumb out here than they are out on the road. It's quite nice to see a live one, to be honest. If I get any closer you can see. But anyway, yes, those school kids. Imagine this being your walk home. Pretty good, isn't it? Better than Slade Road or whatever we had to put up with in our end. So it's a bit of a bother, really. Maybe we know why the car park had to start charging, because they're saying they're sourcing funds for, yeah, there was right where I left that pheasant behind, that was a main, what would you call it, a ford, like a boardwalk across the water. That's closed, unfortunately, so they sent you down the blue arrow again. You got to follow this to get round that, but it looks like it's shooting me way away from the water. We're going all the way around this woodland now to get back over there to carry on with the walk. So this has probably added, I don't know, half a kilometre to the walk, which is very weird, but that's how things work. I guess that ford boardwalk was never there naturally, so this is what you just have to put up with. Or maybe you just walk up through the water and you do what you want. I was tempted to go over it myself, but I don't know how far I'd get, and I don't want to die. That is proper rubbish. I came off this very path just there at those wooden things, headed down towards the water. Then it's like, nah, can't go this way. No signs though, until you get to the actual crossing point. And then yeah, this shortcut, or you know, diversion has just put me back here. So we're going the long way, which, if you're watching and I get a parking fine, I was going to complete this within my allocated hours, 2 hours, but now I think that won't be possible, and that's not my fault, is it? 2 for joy. But yeah, a bit of a nightmare. So I'd suggest not pinning too much on the timing when you come and do this walk, because I guess it's ever changing on what route you're actually allowed to take. But coming this way does bring you to Chasewater Heaths train station, which looks like it's not even the terminus. That's cool, it's just another stop throughout the park. I don't know if it's a circular or what, I don't know where it goes. Bloody hell, mate. Everywhere you go. Water, water. Okay. So on with the walk. And it looks like, oh yeah, that's it. So we don't have to go through this level crossing, which gets us to the main road. You can see civilization there, which doesn't look too appealing. But we're going to go this way, which would, or should, take us all the way around the water still, so we can get this bloody pint. I don't think I'm close yet. So yeah, that diversion, which just brought me over that little bridge there, or culvert, has basically just made you avoid this whole stream, which I guess is either the, what was it, the Crane or the other stream. So let's just pretend this one's the Crane that runs into the Tame, which actually runs through Erdington. So we've come full circle, guys. But does the Tame kind of run through Aston and Witton a bit more than Erdington itself? I think that's more the case, but hey, lovely woodland though. It looks a lot more, I wouldn't go ancient because they all look fairly fresh, but old. But yeah, definite mood change this side of the stream, which is lovely. So always entertaining when you're kind of stuck in these stupid muddy areas where you have to do a big diversion into the nearest woodland, and you can see where people have cocked up and slipped and things have gone awry, and there's a lot of them around here. So far so good for me. We'll take that way, and that's it. Why would you go that way? No, no, no. Cool. Another slip there. Looks like a dog slip, that one. Not as in poo. Oh, right. So, some rugby grounds. Not sure what team this is, or if it's just a school one. No, it's a proper team, isn't it? Rugby club there. But let it be known that that is the poshest bench I've seen in a long time. And cleanest and shiniest, and probably the newest. But there you go, it's got all the floodlights and everything. Fancy, fancy. This end of Cannock Chase. Right, so it's this point of the walk, just this side. So we started here, did we? I think we started here in the car park. We've whipped all the way around this water, over the top, and now I'm the blue dot, and it's like, you get here, you got to peel back on yourself in order to go over this bridge, over there, onto Church Street, and then down the main road towards the mine. I am going to go over this bridge there, this one, so I can get round that bend, down Church Street, hit the Uxbridge pub first, because that one's, yeah, looks like a Black Country pubs. Looking at their taps, which aren't appearing because I'm on 4G, and apparently 4G is not good enough for internet anymore, even though it used to be the internet before. So I don't know. There you go. One picture there. But 4.5 stars and some nice ales. So I think that's the Black Country Ales pub. And then if we just cross the cross that roundabout there, and then we'd hit the Miners' Rest, which is what we're going to do, because this is the Jules pub, and I love their beers. Look at that. It's going to be nice. So here'll be the bridge going over the, I forgot where that road now was now, A459. There you go, Burntwood Rugby Club, that's what we just saw. But we're going up here to scoot over, once again, this massive dual carriageway. At least we've got an option, and get ourselves a beer, which you know, over the last 2 videos, that's a trend, isn't it? We've got to find a bridge to get them points in. Look at this though. Okay, not a dual carriageway, just a single carriageway. All of this in the busy, yeah, things you have to do. Now, coming off the bridge, the map would tell you to go all that way and around a big bend and all this just to come down that road. Whereas good old human, what would you call it? Not independence, but just staunchness in like just not taking the long route all the time have made their own, which just goes down here into the car park, and then that should shoot us off Church Lane to that roundabout, and then we'll get a point in the Uxbridge. Bam bam. And you bet Chasetown has its own football club as well, just over the bridge from the rugby club. It's all happening. Proper local club kind of thing, where it's all just sponsored by DIY companies and players' dads, I imagine. It's all rather quaint round here in Chasetown. So there's the school, built in 1911. Very nice building. All these little cottagers, which I imagine are for the oldies of the area, but you can't be sure. But they're quite nice. But still looking rather 50s at the absolute oldest. And what's this little church they've got? It's looking good. Lovely graveyard. So let's guess what year this was built. I'm going to go 1911 as well. Why not? But what's it called? St. Anne's. Hasn't got a year on it. Not on the gates. Let's go by the gravestones. What we got on the wall? How old? Fell in the Great War, so yeah, 1914, whatever, from pit number 3. Who fell in the Great War? Oh, so we've got pits here full of bodies. 1914 to 18, so yeah, let's just say around 1910 as well. Nice though. Lovely. So right on time. We are, what, an hour and a half into the walk now. 2 hours parking. We're not doing too great on that side of things. But the Uxbridge Arms. Coming up, it's definitely a Black Country Ales pub, which is never a bad thing. Lovely.
3/4 of your G&T is a Fever Tree tonic. Fever Tree, mixed with the best.
So that is a lovely pint in the Uxbridge Arms there on the roundabout. It looks like I'm actually entering Hammerwich next, which is just over the roundabout, and heading towards that Jules pub, the Miners' Rest. But yeah, what a lovely area. Very quiet in there, but I don't know if they get a bit busier, obviously, when people aren't working. Lucky me. But awesome. And that's basically less than a minute's walk. So there's the sign for Chasetown just there. And yeah, straight over into Hammerwich, and the Miners' Rest is basically the first thing you can see. It looks like a nice little pub. The people are starting to finish work, so this pub should be a bit busier. But yeah, they're nice people. I'd move out this way. Definitely. I don't know what the jobs are like, but it's all right area, isn't it? Look at that. Love a Jules beer, so here we go. So that was the Miners' Rest. Brilliant pub, really. Now, I'm not too sure how to get back to the water because my sat-nav isn't working now. So I'm just going to head this way and go for the next right turn and head from there. But yeah, it shouldn't be too far off. I mean, completely missed the parking thing, but we'll see how that goes. So absolutely turned the wrong way. So you want to be going, come out the pub, turn right, and then do your first left at that roundabout, and that will take you back to the water park, country park, whatever. Well, there you go. Bloody lovely looking building, isn't it? So yeah, it's Pool Lane, which makes sense, doesn't it? To get back to the pool. It's a cul-de-sac just down the end there, which is going to take me hopefully over a bridge, back over that A road, and then straight back into the park. But I must say, I mean, right here is the Erasmus Darwin Academy, which is a posh school, I imagine. But what an area. Yeah, they've got it good round here, whatever's going on. Much better than Sutton even. Yeah, something to aspire to, isn't it? But what a lovely pair of pubs right next to each other. You can't complain. If I'd lived round here, I'd be trashed all the time. There it is. Literally, I haven't stopped speaking. That's where I was. So this is the second walking bridge. We should be able to see the first one that we took, because I guess we're only like, I don't know, 200 yards down. Not far at all, unless I completely lost count on the last walk. Well, you can't even see it. There's the road. The other bridge I walked over is down there somewhere. I'd have thought you could see it from here. It felt that short, but hey. So now, back into the park. Follow it round. And that should get me back to the car park where I started. And then it's just a case of seeing if I've got a vague parking ticket of some form, but I doubt it really. And worst case scenario. Ooh. Let's go up there because I can see some life rings, which tells me that's where the water's at. So that's a bit more interesting to go that way. Let's have a look at the pool from there. What a place. I will note apart from the deers, 2 squirrels, some sparrows and some magpies and a couple of pigeons. That's all I've seen as far as wildlife goes around here. I've seen more kids walking from school than a cyclist, but it's been very, very quiet, I must say, which isn't a bad thing because I hate people. Oh, another magpie and a bee. Did see a bee earlier as well. But yeah, I guess if you do take your time a little bit more and sit back, you're bound to notice a lot more wildlife than I have today. But this is a lovely little park. I'm not sure how far I've been. I'll throw up the figures shortly. But it's not been strenuous at all. Very easy. Even with the massive diversion because of that wooden dam earlier. Well, what was it called? A ford. And here's one that's not flooded out yet. But I guess this one can get pretty boggy too. But it looks all right. Watch your step. Ooh, there you go. But yeah, lovely. Chasewater Country Park. Come down. I do recommend you dip out onto that church lane and grab a couple of drinks in those pubs because, yeah, they're just brilliant. And we're losing out on those kind of local, and as much as they are chains, Jules and Backcountry Ales, they seem to be the chains that do get the more interesting drinks in, the more interesting staff. It's not completely driven by the food market and the meals and wacky warehouses and the like, or B&Bs. So you do end up, just witnessing what, as close as we can get to a traditional pub these days. Oh, got a dog that's just run off. Right, so we're going to climb this now. Get back to the water. Oh, there's a little pool here. It's nice. But yeah, what a way to kill the afternoon. That's been Monday for me. I've enjoyed that. The video isn't over, so please do stick around a little bit longer. And I'll show you the, potentially incredible views that I'm going to hit as soon as I get up that dam. Whew. And the good news for you oldies, if you want to get up to this dam, it's actually a very leisurely walk up this ramp, which is easy. Look at it. Straight up there, and we'll be back at the waterline, and then follow it round. And I reckon I'll be back at the van in the next 10 minutes, really, because that is majorly the back broken in the entire route, which has been longer than expected, but not a bad thing. I actually appreciate the diversion. It pushed you into parts of the woods that you wouldn't have seen if not, because you would have just skirted it around the pool itself, which, as interesting as that is, why wouldn't you want to see a bit more? And as he says this, he's reaching the top of that damn walk. Look at that. Oh, the bums up swannies. Did you find anything? No, never mind. Yeah, the car park's literally over there. So I'll be back momentarily. And that will be the end of that. I'll chalk that up as a complete success. What a nice little afternoon. But it'll be semi-rush hour now, driving back. it shouldn't be that bad. And may it be said that the geese around here are nowhere near as assholey as they are in our end of the woods. What's this? A Saxon Hill craft barn. Which, yeah, is basically right next to the entrancey, reception-y, whatever hall. I think you could actually, if you had a card, you could pay in here for your parking. Or next door, anyway. Yeah, that's the bit. What does it say? Innovation Centre. Chasewater Innovation Centre. So that closes at 6 p.m, I believe, which is when the parking is free from as well. But the gates do close at 8 p.m. currently, which I guess follows the sunlight hours. But I'll just show you this parking sign here, which doesn't mention anything about fines or you having to, pay, really. It just mentions that the profits go towards the upkeep of the park, which may go towards the upkeep of that Ford that doesn't work. So, but yeah, it's literally in the last week since Easter that this price change has happened. I think it was £3 previously and £1, and they both went up on Easter Monday or Fool's Day, whatever it was. But this is closed now, so it's not like you have the opportunity to pay for parking beyond 5 o'clock by the looks of it, which is bizarre because parking is only needed to be paid for up until 6 p.m. So I'm guessing I've got away with this one. The gate's handled by someone else. I'm not too sure who handles the car park in general. I'd have thought Stafford, but there's the van. Let's find out if we've got a ticket, but I highly doubt it. And that's it. Very similar to Sandwell Valley Country Park as far as where you start and how it all looks, to be honest. But yeah, just look at this. It's coins only on these machines. They're working on it and they will improve. But it is coins only. Blah. No threats or anything about getting fined, but there's an option to buy an annual permit for £36 if you wish. But I wouldn't bother, to be honest. I don't think you have to pay at all. I don't think anyone's looking. But I don't advise you do that. I at least threw a £1.20 on just for that first 2 hours, as you can see here. And that seems to have worked wonders because we can still escape and I've got no tickets. So that's that. Chasewater Country Park. 10 out of 10. Enjoyed that. And would definitely bring the kids here, bring the family here. Anyone who can put up with a basic walk, nothing too strenuous, easy to moderate at best. Bring some walking shoes if it's rained recently. But apart from that, just come. Can't go wrong. And I've been at Brummie Wonders. You've been very patient. If you're still watching, thank you very much for tuning in. And I'm sure there'll be more to come at some point. Ta-ta.